Rito is a boy who loves Haruna, but can't confess to her. Lala is an alien princess who doesn't want to marry someone chosen by her father. She comes to Earth and accidentally ends up in Rito's bathtub. Rito accidentally touches her breasts, which, on her planet, means they're engaged. Lala is happy about it, but Rito is not interested because of his feelings for Haruna. He also saves Lala from her uncle, who came to take her back to her planet. Episode 2. Zastin, Lala's uncle, lets Rito know that if he backs out of his engagement with Lala, he will lose his life, and his father-in-law-to-be will destroy his planet. Zastin also tells him that if Rito wishes to call off the engagement without facing the problems mentioned earlier, he would have to feel up Lala's breasts again before the first 3 days of their engagement are up. Rito tries very hard to touch her the way her uncle described, but fails to do so before the deadline. Thus, he is stuck with the engagement. The next day, Rito is unpleasantly surprised to find Lala being brought into class as a new transfer student. Episode 3. Haruna tells Rito that he and Lala make a great couple. Hearing that crushes Rito. His sister Mikan proposes that Rito and her should take Lala around town to show her around. Lala uses an artificial intelligence clothing device which starts malfunctioning as it loses most of its energy. The device known as Peke starts to dissolve as a consequence. They quickly go to a clothing store and buy her new clothes. There, they run into Haruna, and they all go to the aquarium. However, they have to leave soon as Lala causes floods in the building. Episode 4. Zastin gives Rito the news about how when he marries Lala, he will have to participate in an interstellar war. This is because he will have to one day become the king of Devoluk in Lala's father's stead. Rito thinks up a plan to get out of this ordeal when he tastes Lala's dreadful cooking. He tells her he will not marry her if she can't cook. The next day, Lala appears with alien ingredients that are still alive and wreak havoc in the school. She later reassures him that he does not have to participate in wars if he does not want to. Moreover, she tells him that she plans to stay with him on Earth after marriage. Episode 5. Saki Tenjoin, a pretty and rich girl in school, envies Lala for her popularity with the boys. Using Rito as bait, she lures Lala into participating in a beauty contest with her. Rito is told that he'll have to touch Saki's breasts in front of everyone if Lala doesn't show up. Lala shows up with Bobo Doggy-kun, a dog-like robot that makes Saki run away by ripping off her swimsuit. Saki later tries to get payback and tries to sneak into Rito's house to find something that will help her do that. Little did she know, Zastin had placed traps around the house. She triggers the traps and she finds herself ejected into space with Lala. Lala saves Saki and impresses her with her selflessness. Afterward, Saki finds herself naked in front of a crowd because of Bobo Doggy-kun. Again. Episode 6. Lala is proposed by an alien named Gi Buri, who has the ability to shapeshift. He uses his abilities to turn himself into the school principal and takes Haruna hostage in the gym equipment room. He claims that he will only return Haruna to him if Rito breaks his engagement with Lala. Rito does not accept, and when Lala finds out what Gi is doing, she makes her disapproval of him too apparent to ignore. This causes Gi to transform into an even scarier monster. Things take a weird turn when it is shown that Rito is easily able to defeat the monster with just his voice. It is revealed that Gi Buri is in actuality a weakling and a coward who already has several wives. Episode 7. Lala's friend Ren comes to Earth to marry her. Ren tries to impress Lala with his strength, speed, and looks, but he fails repeatedly. He asks Rito for advice and accidentally kisses him when hit by a frisbee. Ren watches an inspirational movie called Pocky and works out non-stop to impress Lala. Finally, he completes a marathon and goes to Lala, hoping to hear her praise his manliness. However, at that moment, he sneezes and turns into Ren, a girl. It turns out that whenever Ren sneezes, he changes gender, an inherent ability of his species. Episode 8. Rito causes commotion in the morning involving Lala's inventions and accidentally tackles Haruna. Ren has now fallen in love with Rito after sharing a kiss with him while she was Ren. Meanwhile, Saki is trying to steal Rito away to prove her superiority. Yui Kotagawa, a fellow school student, is tired of the ecchi behavior in school and decides to clean it up. She blames Rito for all of it and forbids him from talking to any girl for 2 weeks. But she soon realizes that there is still ecchi behavior in school, even with Rito gone. She follows Rito and realizes that he's kind-hearted and cancels his punishment. Lala throws a party for Rito to cheer him up. But when Rito is pulled by Lala's transportation machine, Yui is accidentally brought along. The next day, Rito accidentally causes Lala's clothes to disappear, and Yui punishes him again. Episode 9. Pikari, a man who has an armored rocket suit, comes to Earth to take Lala with him back to his homeland. He tries to attack Lala, but she fights back and damages his rocket suit, leaving him unable to return home. At night, Pikari seeks advice from Ren and Zastin on what to do. Zastin directs him to a hospital run by Ryoko Mikado, where he is healed. Fully recovered, Pikari makes a final attempt at kidnapping Lala by paralyzing her and restraining Rito. Ryoko witnesses the incident and mummifies Pikari before allowing Lala to launch him back to his homeland without her. Episode 10. Stella is the president of Lala's fan club on Deviluke. She arrives at Earth to take Lala away for an Idol CD debut. Lala refuses to go because she wants to be with Rito. Stella blames Rito for the issue and demands that he finds her a golden egg to substitute for Lala. Stella becomes fixated on Haruna as the golden egg, but Rito stops her from kidnapping Haruna. Rito proposes a better solution, and Mikan offers to be a substitute. Stella likes the idea of having Mikan, Rito, and Lala as a trio. However, Stella is forced to return quickly when an audit reveals that her fan club evaded tax payments. Episode 11. Golden Darkness, an assassin, is sent to Earth to kill Rito by a client named Lakospo. When Rito offers her a taiyaki, she identifies him and attacks him. Zastin tries to protect Rito, but is defeated. Lala steps in and fights Golden Darkness, making her question her orders. However, Lakospo arrives and reveals his true motive, which was to get Golden Darkness to kill Rito so that he could propose to Lala. Lala tries to convince Golden Darkness to ignore Lakospo, but he fights back with a huge alien frog. Lala and Rito manage to defeat the frog, but Golden Darkness still sees Rito as her target. Episode 12. Rito attends a sports festival and has a very bad day. He keeps accidentally touching Haruna, the girl he has a crush on, and worries that she hates him because of it. The events at the festival are strange and confusing, including the principal making the girls do sexy exercises, which results in him getting in trouble. As the day goes on, things only get weirder and weirder, making Rito's day even more unpleasant. Episode 13. Rito wakes up to find Lala in his bed. Zastin visits him to inform him that Lala's father will be visiting Earth to assess Rito's suitability to marry his daughter. Throughout the day, Rito is anxious about meeting Lala's father and is distracted by the various girls in his school. He goes to the roof to meet a mysterious girl, only to be tested by Lala's father in disguise. He fails the test, but is saved by Lala, who reveals to her father why she loves Rito. After seeing her protect Rito, King Deviluke challenges Rito to become the #1 man in the galaxy. Rito returns home and decides to accept the challenge. And that's a wrap on our recap for the first 13 episodes of To Love Ru.